We made it. Welcome back, everyone. Zip It Up Pod. We have made it to this week's episode. It's been one of those weeks where you're like, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. But here we are. We did it. We're going to get this week behind us at some point. Yeah, okay. Sorry, we are a day late. I know a lot of you, um, not a lot of you. I know some of you can't wait for the episode to drop on Thursday mornings. And so I apologize. It's going to be Thursday afternoon by the time this one gets released. This has been a birthday week for myself. So my midweek schedule got thrown off quite a bit. And usually I like to record on Wednesday evenings. And I was still kind of hoping I would record last night, but that did not happen. We spent a whole day at Disney. We took the day off of work. I wasn't about to work on my birthday. And so we took the day off and went park hopping without the kids, and we still were dog tired after getting home last night, and there was no way I was gonna record a, a good podcast. It would have been very poor, and it still wouldn't have released till this afternoon. I was not gonna take time to edit it. So, here we are. Birthday was yesterday. Got that out of the way. We are, we are entering our Riley Herbst era. I guess that's what you wanna call it. We mid-30s now. Uh, wow, that's that was like a two-way shot at Riley Herbst. Unintentional two-way shot. Not just because his car number, but his average running position is sometimes mid-30s. So that's where we are. And now, I mean, let's go ahead and actually get into this drink today. I've been looking forward to this. I like to wait to the weekends to drink, but we uh we ain't waiting any further. It's a celebratory week. So we're getting into the drink right away tonight, which it is draft day. Okay. So that's why I have the iced out Packers mug. And we are drinking the Miller Lite tonight. Miller Lite from Wisconsin. Okay. But we are not decked out, as you can see if you're watching the video playback. We are not decked out in Packers gear. We got our Georgia Bulldog gear on, and that is because I wanted to dress up for my buddy who this toast is going out to. Blake from the Checkered Chat also celebrated a birthday this week. His birthday was on the 21st. Mine was on the 22nd. So we are just about twinsies, if you know what I'm saying. Happy birthday to Blake. I gave a birthday shout out during the toast last week to my bud Doug. And I said I wasn't going to do birthday shout outs every week, but both of these guys contribute very highly, or I guess that's the word I want to use. They are great contributors to this pod in one way or another, whether you see it or whether you don't. I appreciate both of them very much. And so that's why I wanted to shout out both of those guys back to back weeks. We are all April birthdays. I don't know what sign that is. What is that? Astrology or something like astronomy? I don't know. I think I'm a Taurus. I don't know if they are, but sorry, that's just not my thing. Some of y'all are into that. Let me know. Maybe that's why I connect so well with those guys. But anyway, here we are. April showers bring May flowers. I think that's what it is. Blake, man, I know you're listening along. So whether you're working or whether you're driving to work or home, man, happy birthday, dude. Let's get you on the pod soon. I know we've been talking about that. It would be sick. This is not to put any pressure on you, but it'd be sick if next week you wanted to hop on the podcast and give us you're going to be a direct correspondent to the Talladega race this week. Blake's headed to Talladega for the race, so would love to get his 2 cents following that race. But anyway, without further ado, cheers to all the April babies, especially this week. Blake. Ooh, let's have ourselves an episode. That's a warm beer. I don't know why it's warm. Came out of my fridge. But hopefully the mug will cool it down. So yeah, that beer. That beer's for Blake. This pouch is for Harrison still. All right. goodness. So, got a lot of talking points this week. I don't know how much time I'll spend on each of them. I know that there is a big segment that I'm going to spend a little bit of time on. It'll probably end up being 2 minutes, and then we're done with it. Anywho, I'm just going to hop right into it. Couple observations coming out of the Kansas race that let's bring to the pod, okay? Let's bring it to the table tonight. First of all, Tyler Reddick makes more history at Kansas. We've already seen the historical start to the season that he has had. He won the first 3 races to begin the year. Then he won 4 of the first 6. Now he has won 5 of the first 9 races. And I believe he is the first driver to do that in the Cup Series since Dale Earnhardt Sr. did that in 1987. Now, the thing with that stat, I'm not sure if Earnhardt was, if his run was winning 5 of the first 9 races, or if it was just winning 5 in a 9-race stretch. Feels like someone has done that since 1987. I mean, we've got frickin' Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson that have probably done that. I know Tony Stewart won 5 out of the 10 in the chase a while back. So I have a feeling it's to start the season just as Tyler Reddick has begun his season with a historical stretch. Kind of incredible what he's doing. And I know a lot of people are they're into conspiracy theories and all that after the off season we just had, 23XI being involved heavily. Oh, look, I'm going to say it. And if he keeps winning, I'm going to keep saying it. But Tyler Reddick has always had this in him. It's just finally all coming together. He's finally having his breakout season. Yes, it's pretty historical, and it's very much a coincidence with the off-season news that NASCAR had, So, anyway, I don't buy into those conspiracy theories at all. This is just Tyler Reddick finally stepping up and stepping into the superstardom that he was meant for. I mean, this guy won, I think, a couple Xfinity championships, or O'Reilly, whatever it is now, minor league championships. So, anywho, that's all I want to say about that. We ain't buying into it. Y'all can think what you want. It is fun. There are some fun conspiracy theories out there, but I don't think this is one of them. Okay. Next up, we got Hendrick Motorsports put 3 cars in the top 10 this past week at Kansas, and we had all 4 finish in the top 20. That's huge, especially coming off of the performance that we had at Bristol, which was grueling. Last week's pod was not fun. Larson had a great finish, but the other 3 cars were terrible at Bristol. Byron finished several laps down at Bristol. That's terrible. But this week, we get things back going in the right direction at Kansas. I still don't love what we saw at Kansas, but it's a step in the right direction. Okay. Byron didn't have a good day. We'll talk about him in a few minutes, but still able to get a 7th place result out of it. Okay. Bowman has just been non-existent this year, and for many of the right reasons. He had vertigo, so he did not exist in the car for much of this season. But when he has been there, that's been terrible, and I think a lot of it has been some bad luck. So now that he's back in the car full time, still trying to get his feet wet. To see him get a top 20 this week was good, not great, but good. In fact, I texted Blake. I was thinking, a top 10 for Bowman, that would feel like a victory for that team right now. That's how bad they've been, whether he's been in the car or not. That team badly needs anything good to go right. So, top 20 finish in the right direction for them. But then let's talk about Denny Hamlin versus Kyle Busch. Comments were made last week on Denny's podcast. He spoke about Kyle Busch just debating whether or not he's washed. And anyway, so I'm kind of with Denny on this. And of course, this has become a hot topic because Kyle Busch went to the media and didn't like Denny's comments. And I do understand that, but Denny was not wrong. So got to call a spade, right? And I'm going to back Denny here. Kyle Busch is washed. His time has come to an end. He just needs to come to grips with it. Got to come to terms with it and just be done with it at some point. His time's up. He's certainly now, yeah. He's not in a great situation at RCR, but let's be honest, he was looking pretty rough in his final year at Joe Gibbs Racing as well. His time has come to an end, and it had started before he got to RCR. In fact, when he got to RCR and he won those 3 races in his first year, I was like, okay, maybe there is some life here. Maybe there's some rejuvenation. But that's been it. Ever since those 3 wins, he hasn't had another one, and I don't think he's going to win another one. Now watch, he'll do it this week at Talladega because this is one of the 6 races on the schedule that he could win. But besides that, and besides it being a crapshoot, he doesn't stand a chance anywhere we go. He's got awful results. And so, yeah, his time is up. We have seen drivers fall off a cliff. You know, Jimmy Johnson surely did. 7-time champion. And he didn't just like quit winning, but he stopped running good at the end of his career, at the end of his time with HMS. And then that carried over to Legacy, you know, the few races that he runs in the 84 car. Yeah, he's got a 3rd place finish in the Daytona 500, but again, that's a super speedway. Any other race he's done, he has not been competitive at all. And so this happens to drivers. I mean, even my guy Jeff Gordon, at the end of his career, you could tell it was time. Time was up. He was much less competitive. Now, that final season was kind of special. He got that win at Martinsville that put him in the championship race, and he had a chance to win a championship. So he went out kind of feeling like he was on top, you know, able to compete in his final race, but not a lot of drivers get to do that anymore. And Kyle Busch is in that same category as Jimmy Johnson, where, I mean, everyone can see it. Time's up, man. Is it Father Time? Yeah, it's Mother Nature and Father Time. Father Time is telling Kyle Busch the days are over. Yeah, he has passed his expiration date and needs to hang it up as soon as possible, or that legacy will get tainted. I think Jimmy Johnson's legacy just a little bit tainted. Now, it's really hard to taint a 7-time championship resume with, I think, 83 wins. Really hard to distort that. But nonetheless, I think he did just a tad bit and has been with all these races that he does for LMC where he runs in the 20s the whole time. So, I meant to turn that on silent. Sorry. Anyway, I think that, you know, Kyle Busch needs to see the writing on the wall and needs to be done. Doesn't need to go searching for another team to go try and run better and get better finishes. I know that he's a racer at heart. Man, go run the Truck Series. Go do some Xfinity, I guess. But your time in the Cup Series is up. These guys are way too good now, and you don't have it in you. We can all see it. He doesn't have the heart that he used to have. And a lot of folks in the industry on the media side are saying that, you know, he's probably not able to keep up with this next gen car like other drivers have adapted. He's not adapted as quickly. It's not going to get easier, man. They're getting further and further away from you. So it's time. It's time for Kyle to be done. For Rowdy, his time is up. Okay, so next topic. Now, this was a topic last week. Denny Hamlin was asked on his podcast who the best driver in NASCAR is right now, and I think he was asked if it's Ryan Blaney, and he said that would be a hard no. So I came on my podcast last week, and I also said that would be a hard no, but I wanted to take 1 week and think about it and finally give you my answer. So today I will answer who the best driver in NASCAR is right now. All right, so here are our options. I hate saying our. Here are our options. All right. Is the best driver in NASCAR the guy that is currently in a drought, winless for over 30-something races? Or is the best driver in NASCAR the one with his own podcast and currently gets into media feud with Kyle Busch at the moment? Or is the best driver in NASCAR the only Ford driver that can run up front, but has a pit crew that costs him the race every single week? Or is the best driver in NASCAR the guy that currently is on a historical run and has won 5 of the first 9 races to begin this season? Yeah, you can probably figure out who those 4 options are that I'm considering. And I'm not saying that those are my top 4. What I'm saying is I've gone into this with an unbiased opinion, and I have settled on Kyle Larson is currently the best driver in NASCAR still. He is still currently the best driver in NASCAR. We were just talking about this last year. You know, he was doing the double with the Indy 500 and the Coke 600, and everyone was saying this guy might be the best driver in the world. If he's in consideration for best driver in the world, then he's certainly going to be highly considered best driver in NASCAR. And that's where I still have him, even though this is a Hendrick Motorsports podcast, not affiliated with him. Would love to be, but we're not. This is, that's our focus here, HMS. And I got to go with Kyle Larson, man, just because he's in a drought right now. He's been winless for 32, 33-something races, I think, since his last win. Don't forget, in the middle of that, he did win a championship. I think Jordan Bianchi said that on the teardown this past week. He did win a championship in the middle of this drought that Larson's currently in. I will say, Denny Hamlin is a close second right now, but he's got no championships. And Denny Hamlin has lost a lot of races lately that he's either dominated or been well positioned to win. He's not been able to close lately. A bunch. And that might be a topic for another day. I could get lost on that one. I could ramble. But Denny Hamlin's been giving some races away. Well, whether it be his fault or not. Some of them, you kind of feel bad. But with how many there's been lately, I mean, at some point, he's going to have to take a little responsibility for that. And he's got to start closing some of these races. And I will say, Ryan Blaney, very, very heavily considered this week for this, I guess, award, if you will. He could be the best driver in NASCAR, but I say let's put him in the 48 just to find out for sure if he is. In the future, in the near future, maybe let's put him in that 48 car, and we'll know if Blaney is the best driver in NASCAR. Hate it for the guy. I have nothing bad to say about Blaney. He very well could be the best driver, but right now, I've got to go Larson. Anybody that comes with Tyler Reddick is the best right now. Well, he's having the best season, but he's not the best driver in NASCAR right now. This guy also just went through a winless season all last year. He didn't win one single race. And now that he's won 5 races to begin the season, so much hype around him, and he's not the best right now. It's definitely either Larson, Hamlin, or Blaney. And my unbiased opinion, I promise you, I'm still going Larson. He has not lost that yet. And I think if you ask all the competitors who they're probably the most worried about, the 5 car and Kyle Larson are mentioned everywhere we go. Even the super speedways. We're seeing them get a lot better on super speedway tracks, which is their only weakness because they don't have a win at Dega, Daytona, or Atlanta. But boy, they've been very competitive and respectable finishes at those tracks lately. And I just think the resume is too strong for Larson right now. He's won, I think he's won 26 races with Hendrick Motorsports. He joined them back in 2021. 2021 was his first season with them. went on to win 10 races right off the bat and a championship. He's now got 2 championships. No sign of him slowing down. He's in his prime. And yeah, every driver has gone through a drought. We're seeing it with him right now. Eventually, he's going to get out of that drought. He's going to win, and we're going to see a lot more wins follow again, because that's how good he is. Even with a down year, the first 9 races have been a tough start to the season for Hendrick Motorsports and Chevy as a whole. But Larson has, I think, top 3 finishes in the last 2 races. As bad as we've been, he's been the guy to carry the flag for us. So I still got him as best driver in NASCAR. And I'm sure you can make a case for other drivers, but he's got the strongest case. So that's where I landed on. All right, last one. Last thing I want to mention before we get moving on to our race analysis is that everyone's raving about the point system, as they should. I love the point system. I think it's pretty great. It's rewarding the winner without locking the winner in. If SVG wins 2 or 3 of these road courses, he's going to have a great number of points, but he's still going to be close to missing the chase possibly. And with as many wins as Reddick has to start the season, he should have a humongous points lead as he does. Okay, the point system is great. I love it, but I think fans are going to dislike it later in the season. I think as the chase gets here, what we're seeing right now is one of those breakout seasons dominated by a driver with a bunch of wins. And Reddick is going to have a huge lead going into the chase. And when that happens, I think a lot of fans are going to bash the chase system because he's going to have to sacrifice a lot of points to have that number 1 seed. Right now he's got over 100-point lead, and it's growing. Week by week, it's growing. His average finish is insane too, so he hasn't had a bad week yet. But anywho, when the chase gets here, his huge lead is going to shrink down to 25 points over second place, regardless of how big it is. Okay. Now, he could win the regular season by 2 points, or he could win it by 142 points. But still, with 10 races to go, his lead will shrink down to a 25-point lead. I think that's when folks are going to be like, all right, got to get rid of the chase now. It's going to be fun, interesting conversation that I can just see building up already. He's having one of those seasons. He's looking like he could win 7, 8 races by the time the regular season ends. He certainly could go on to win double-digit races this year. And I think, everyone is in love with the points right now, as I am. I'm loving it. In fact, I love the reseeding, the regular season. Going into the chase, it truly feels like just about any other sport. The 1 seed gets home court advantage or home field advantage. So that's what this is going to be for Tyler Reddick. He's going to have home advantage with the 25-point lead going into the chase. 10 races to go. He has to be excellent those last 10 races. Still, other drivers in the mix have a chance. They just got to be great to win. You got to be excellent in the chase to win the championship. But I think there's an interesting conversation that's going to take place because of the incredible regular season he is currently having right now. And I don't see it slowing down. He has been great. That team has been on top of their game, and they're going to earn every bit of that 1 seed when we get to the chase. So that's it. I'm long-winded. I hope I'm not catching anything because I think the rest of the house is getting something right now. And I'm going to go play softball tonight while they stay home and rest. So I hope I ain't catching nothing. But let's get into our race analysis, all right? Kansas Cup race. Starting with our best finisher, Kyle Larson. Now, he started 4th, and had a great day. Stage 1, he finished second, and then he won stage 2, and then went on to finish second in the race. So we had a chance there at the end. There was a overtime restart. I think he started third on the bottom behind Denny, and he actually was leading the race. Had a chance coming to the white flag, but Tyler Reddick was better. Reddick and Hamlin looked better throughout the day. So Larson getting second, real good finish. Next up, we got William Byron, started 14th and didn't score any stage points, but he did finish 7th. This was just another lackluster day for this team, and they do struggle at Kansas. Kansas and Bristol, probably their 2 weakest tracks, and they had them back to back, so they survived them. They got through them, but it was encouraging to get a top 10 finish there at the end because of that overtime restart. Next, we got Chase Elliott, who started 13th, and in stage 1, he finished 6th. Stage 2, he finished 4th, and then went on to finish 8th for the race. So we grabbed track position early in this race. That's why we had great stage points, but just unable to keep that track position at the end. Still thought it was pretty good getting an 8th place finish, get in and out of there. Kind of another lackluster day. I don't think we had a great car, but the track position really was key for us. And then Alex Bowman started 33rd and did not score any stage points. Ultimately finished 18th, but was good to see him running in the top 15 for a lot of the day, and just needs to continue this improvement. Okay. We got to keep climbing the ladder. And the ladder, you got to go, one rail at a time, one step at a time. This week, going to a track that is a crapshoot. Would love to see them win, but even if it's just a top 10 for the 48 team, even if it's just surviving the wrecks and getting to the end of the race, would be great. They don't need to worry about stage points. Okay. It is so unlikely to make the chase right now. I think what this team needs to do is go out this week and race for the win. And, if you don't win, you don't win. It's so hard to win these super speedway races. But if we can just survive and have a chance at the end, that would be what this team needs the most. Okay. The O'Reilly race on Saturday. We had 2 drivers we were watching this one. Starting with William Byron, driving the 88 for JRM. He started second. And then stage 1, he finished 10th. Did not get stage points in stage 2, but he finished 6th for the race. So this was, O'Reilly race. This was a poor performance overall. Just expect a little bit more on Saturdays from a Cup veteran, someone we consider a contender. On Sundays, you expect them to go and just haul some tail and beat everyone up, and that did not happen from William Byron. But Corey Day, watching him a little bit more closely than Byron, because this guy is in a Hendrick Chevy on Saturdays. Corey Day started 6th, and then stage 1, he finished 2nd. Stage 2, he finished 5th, and then he finished 12th for the race. So this was another good run. Just didn't have enough to keep the top 10 streak going. We saw them decline throughout the day a little bit, but not awful. So, yes, the top 10 streak comes to an end, but he finished 12th. And top 12, still pretty good. It's fine for me. So, we get that one out of the way and move on to Talladega. All right, so let me give you the current driver standings. For the Cup Series, we got Kyle Larson in 5th. He is minus 143. Excuse me. Goodness. Woo. Had to pause right there. All right. Chase Elliott is 6th, and he's minus 152. And then William Byron is 7th in the points. He's minus 182. And, of course, Alex Bowman is 36th. He's minus 414 points. But what we're watching with him is that he is minus 167 points to 16th. So he did lose ground to the bubble spot this past week. I think last week he was 153. This week he's minus 167. And we have, I think, 16 races left in the regular season. So that's right around He needs to make up 10 points per week on average towards that bubble spot. And so losing ground is not good, not helpful at all. All right. And then in the O'Reilly series, Corey Day is currently 4th in the point standings. He's minus 176. We like where he's at right now currently. Love it. Okay. All right. Let's do our Talladega preview, shall we? Take another sip. Now, I feel like I have to walk you through step by step. You know, when I'm taking a sip of beer or water, whatever I'm drinking. Today's beer. I just feel like I have to mention it because you might hear a pause if you're only listening to me and you're like, oh, what's this guy doing? Well, he's enjoying his refreshing beverage. That's what he's doing. Okay. Here's another one. I'll keep giving you those warnings, those notifications. And if you're watching, you can obviously see that I'm busy taking a sip. All right, that's enough. Talladega preview. Kyle Larson has 20. Kyle Larson has 22 starts at Dega, and that includes no wins, no poles, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s. He's led 64 laps in his career here, and his average finish is 21.2. Again, not a great track. Historically has not been a super speedway driver, but that is going to change. It is currently changing, but we're going to see him change those win numbers soon. Chase Elliott. This is a good track for Chase. He has 20 starts at Dega, which include 2 wins, 2 poles, 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s. He's led 216 laps, and his average finish is 15.4. William Byron, historically a good super speedway driver, but in his 16 starts at Dega, he does not have a single win or a single pole. He does have 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s. He's led 123 laps, and his average finish is 14.4. Feels like he's got to get one of these Dega races soon. And then Alex Bowman has 20 starts at Dega, which includes no wins and no poles. He's got 2 top 5s, 6 top 10s. He's led 68 laps, and his average finish is 22nd. All right, so with that knowledge, and I'm going to give you some betting odds to consider this week. We will make our predictions in just a moment. So let's start with the favorite to win this race is Ryan Blaney. He is plus 1,000 to win at Dega this week. Obviously, those Penske Fords are going to be tough, as they always are on the super speedways. But in terms of odds, William Byron has the best odds for Hendrick Motorsports this week. He is plus 1,400 to win. Chase Elliott is plus 1,600. Kyle Larson is plus 1,750. And then Alex Bowman is plus 3,000 to win this race at Dega. And then I got some notables for you. So Tyler Reddick, you know, Mr. Hot Streak himself, he is plus 1,600 to win at Dega. So that's the same odds as Chase. Kyle Busch is plus 1,750 to win at Dega. That's the lowest odds you'll find for him all season. And that's the same odds as Larson. Ryan Preece is plus 2,500 to win at Dega. I wonder what the odds are for him to go flipping through the infield. It's got to be better than plus 2,500, right? Sorry, I know that that's a bad joke. It was meant as a joke, by the way. But the dude embraces it, and so we will too. We don't want to see him flip. Ricky Stenhouse, super speedway specialist. He is plus 3,000 to win. Michael McDowell, I guess you can also call him a super speedway specialist. He's plus 4,000. Austin Dillon is plus 5,000. You know, he's a Daytona 500 winner. Eric Jones has won at Daytona in the past. He's plus 5,000. I don't think he's won at Dega, but he's, you know, respectable on these tracks. And then what I want to mention here last is Cody Ware does not have the worst odds in the field. Cody Ware is plus 15,000 to win this race at Dega this week, but there's 4 drivers on the entry list that are a lot worse odds than him. So Daniel Dye, Chad Fincham, Joey Gase, and Casey Mears, they are all plus 50,000 to win at Dega, which is supersonic odds. We're not going to take those. And I don't know if they're automatically eligible for this race. I'm wondering if someone's going to not make it due to qualifying. So we'll see. But yeah, those guys got some humongous odds to overcome this week. All right. And then in the O'Reilly series, we only have Corey Day. He is plus 1,400 to win on Saturday, which is the same odds as William Byron to win on Sunday. I think that was pretty good. None of our Cup drivers are driving in the O'Reilly race this week. Instead, Raja Karuth will be in the seat of the 88 car for JRM. But now let's make our predictions for Sunday's race at Dega. I got 3 picks coming for you. So our Hendrick pick this week, I'm going to go with William Byron because he has won Atlanta. He has won Daytona. It feels like his time is coming at some point to win at Talladega. And yeah, you can say this for a bunch of guys. I mean, I feel like Larson is eventually going to snag one of these on a super speedway. And it could be this week. But if I had to put some money on it, I'm going to take that 24 car. All right. Our non-Hendrick pick will be Austin Cindric. I love picking this guy on super speedways. I mean, I'm not going to pick him anywhere else, really. This is the one style of track that the guy is so good at. And still, I believe he's still underrated at super speedways, even though he has won the Daytona 500 already. But, yeah, got to watch out for the 2 car this week. And then the long shot that I'm going to go with is Ricky Stenhouse. He's always good here as well. And he has admitted that he's not going to the super speedways to race for stage points. They are going to try to get the win. So they're going to hang around, and they're going to be there at the end, just like he was in Daytona. He finished second to Tyler Reddick in the 500. So if he keeps that car clean, he's around at the end. We know how aggressive and how good he is at these tracks. Could certainly see Stenhouse getting it done. Excuse me. Another phone call, and that one is from Boom. Buddy, I'll have to call you back. Not that he's listening to this. Anywho, so, hey, that's all I want to share with you. I made my picks now, so that's the end of the pod. Let me give you the schedule for the weekend, and then we're out of here, okay? No trucks this week. They are still off. I think they return next weekend. May 1st will be their return date. So that just leaves O'Reilly and Cup. O'Reilly will race on Saturday at 4 o'clock. That'll be on the CW. And then the Cup Series races on Sunday at 3 o'clock on Fox. Blake's going to be there. He's going to be rooting hard for the 9, but he is admittedly not a chase sexual, just like me. So, hey, that's going to be it for us. Okay. Enjoy your birthday celebration in Dega. Hey, I wore all the Bulldogs gear because we are in the, no, I'm not going to say anything bad, but they're going to be in the state of Alabama this week. So I just cannot stand when they get any kind of glory. And that's why I got my dog chain on tonight. All right, that's it for me. I got to get out of here and go play some softball. It's the end of the week. Okay, when you're listening to this, it's probably Friday or the weekend has come around. And y'all enjoy the racing. Super Speedway. Love the racing that we get. Don't forget, we get that's a lot of gets back to back to back. We get a long first stage. I think it's 98 laps or something like that. And then we're gonna do shorter stage 2 and stage 3. I think they're like 45 laps or so each. So hey, enjoy the racing. We'll come back on the pod next week and just might have a special guest for you. All right. See if we can make that happen. It's gonna be fun. Y'all have a good week.